p.m. and that is the start of Tech Skill Thursdays, or Tuesdays, excuse me. So, for those of you here, thank you so much for joining. So I guess I'll start off by the Smash dictionary that they have online at Smashboards, going verbatim. So buffering is inputting command for an action slightly before your character is able to do it. For example, if your character is currently busy doing another action, you input the command for this new action toward the end of the old action, resulting in the action being performed by the character as soon as they are able to do it. So, pretty much like, for example, like, let's say my fox is going to be spot dodging. So, we'll slow it down. So, So during this time, as you can see right here, Fox pretty much can't do anything during this. And the period where he is recovering, where he is reeling back up, as you can see right there, during the 8 frames before this action, the spot dodge ends, you're actually able to input another action. And I just learned this right now. The actions that you are able to put in, it has a priority. See here, that is to say some commands will overrule others, and the priority goes from highest to lowest. So, and this is if you put like multiple commands at the same time. For those of you that played Brawl, have heard of the dash attack canceled up smash. Pretty much like, and it's buffered, or the BDAC is for short. So let's say like during the during the spot dodge, you would input a dash into a dash attack into an up smash, and because all of that was buffered in a row, it would pretty much trigger one after the other the moment that the move is able to. So, and that resulted, of course, in the glitch where a character would slide an obscene amount during their up smash. But so, and you would do all those motions at the very end of the spot dodge or whatever move you're doing. Everything has lag, so it's best to do it during the lag, and that would be the time when it would just go off. So, but in Smash 4, buffering actually got nerfed. So Smash 4 now, you pretty much are only able to do one action. You used to be able to do, as I said before, multiple actions. You could do dash into a dash attack, into an up smash, and that would all register like one after the other the moment it's able to. But yeah, because of that they took it out, and now you can pretty much only do one singular action. Like I said before, the actions go special, shield, attack, and jump. So you can pretty much only choose that one option. And once that one option is over, then of course you can go into another action afterwards. So probably the easiest example that I can show right here is, of course, spot dodging. You spot dodge at the end of a spot dodge, like this is about his normal spot dodge speed. So you could hear it just by the taps. And so during that time, like at the very end, like if you listen closely, whoops, see, I did 2 quick inputs, and Fox right there did a second spot dodge, like, and I'm not even pressing the button right there, like on time. So, because you know you have that 8-frame window where you're able to actually input the very next action. Then of course the hard part is at the end of that one you would have to do another one, and pretty much that would allow for like perfect spot dodging, like pure perfect spot dodging. Like right there you could even do it rolls. That is probably like the best example, like when you see people mashing it, but generally you don't want to mash it. Another good example of this is, again, back in Brawl. Pikachu would do a grab, down throw, and repeat it, and you could do it on characters that were standing in place. So, but of course Fox didn't have any of that. but it's fairly simple, or at least the idea is fairly simple. So I mean, you have so many chances to buffer in this game. It's like a of course, easy won't be Fox's up tilt. It's not coming out in time. So, but basically, if you get the timing of the very end of your moves and input that that action that you want them like 8 frames before the move actually ends, then you would pretty much are able to buffer back to back to back to back. Like a good player who abuses this, of course, is Tyrant. I know that he loves buffering his shit. And what is nice is that let's say you buffer something, and during that small 8-frame window where you buffer the move, you actually choose to do something else. You can then override it. Because again, certain commands will overrule others. Oh yeah, the hammer's on the grab. Or of course, the one of my favorites is of course spot dodging the grabs. But again, this is just all examples. As you can see, buffering is so incredibly powerful. I mean, that's how I'm able to do stuff like that one's just pure reaction, but so pretty much you just have to just input stuff like a little bit before the move actually ends. I mean, the concept of buffering is super simple, but to actually get it down is extremely hard. It's like I said before, the very end of the move, that is when you would have to buffer. Even on moves that are lagless, like Fox's back air, for example. See, this thing practically has no lag. You can tell because the shield just pops up instantly. And shield, of course, good bit of information if you guys are ever testing anything. Shields come up in one singular frame. So that means the moment that your shield pops up, that means you're actually able to do something. Good thing to keep in mind, and a nice thing, of course, is the moment that shield pops up, that means you're actually, it means you're good to go, pretty much. From the moment that the shield pops up. Yeah, what's up, Snorlax? So yeah, pretty much like I said before, for a Fox, so his back air's lagless, that means I have that much time. So a little bit before the shield pops up, if you actually do another move, you will then, you buffer it, because as long as you, when your character is, let me see if I can slow this down again. Nope, that's too slow. So during that time when Fox is unable to do anything, again, that's when you want to buffer all of your stuff. Even if the move is completely lagless, that time where your character literally can't do anything, that's when you want to buffer whatever you could think of, pretty much. Let's see here. So I guess like when he lands, for example, I could buffer a roll, and he would do a roll the moment it lands. I have a hard time doing it in half speed, so I'll give it a try. Nope. So, see, even right there, you don't want to test this stuff in slow mode, because they actually have they actually give the characters way more frames during slowdown, so the action that they're doing is way more fluid than it actually is, because the action is way faster. So this is a bad place to learn how to do it, but I mean, you can see right there. I mean, see how it works. Well, that's interesting. The arrow keeps going even if it's frozen. Nope. Let's see here. Snorlax. Let's see here. Okay, Pink, can you explain when sometimes I run to shield grab? If they hit shield and I perfect shield it, I end up doing a forward tilt. So, the only thing that I could think of, so that'll be another subject. I was gonna save that subject for Friday. On Friday, I was gonna be covering shields, which is super important. So I guess let me switch the characters. A little segue here. Well, I guess this is also a good chance, because another good thing to start practicing, of course, is buffering your options out of your shield. When something hits your shield, like let's say like it's something weak like Mario's Fireball, you could actually release your shield infinitely faster, depending on the power of the move that hit it. If you were to just shield and let go, it is a total of 22 frames. Half of those frames, 3 of those frames, you do a perfect shield. The next few frames after that, I believe it is for like, I think it's either 22 or 23 frames. I believe it's for the next 11 frames, you are pretty much unable to do anything but continue holding your shield. After that, you, if you want to let go of your shield, it is 11 frames. I'm trying to find the frame data for it real quick, but there's 11 frames where you're not able to do anything, and that pretty much gets overridden. But that is, of course, all if you just shield and unshield like that. So it's 22 or 23 frames total. However, let's see, let's switch into attack. Let's see if you throw the fireball. If he throws a fireball, damn it, Mario, it's supposed to be a fireball. Nope, no fireballs. Okay. Nope. Actually, I should probably switch to level 9. Level 9s throw way more fireballs. So at oh, how should I put this? So when you perfect shield a move, pretty much those 22 frames, you could ignore all of that if you were to perfect shield a like a fireball or whatever. Like you run in and you try to shield into a grab, you're probably still holding forward, which, and because you perfect shielded, the shield would go, you would let go, and because it's not shielding anymore, and you press A, because shield grabbing is RNA, like that. Oops. Oh, I hate grabbing like that. So, and because shield grabbing is like that, you perfect shielded the move, you let go, and then press the A button, because I assume you did it fairly quickly. So let's get him to, let's reset, set him to attack, see, like that. See? It's because you were holding forward that entire time, and because you let go of the shield button. When you perfect shield a move, perfect shielding goes from 1 to 3, and then the other 22 that's supposed to be there when you let go of the shield is pretty much gone. Yes, if you wanted to go for a shield grab, you would have to go shield into Z, and that would like that, and that would result in a grab if that's what you're looking for. Oops. Oh, huh, that's weird. Let's see. Oh, huh, you can't do it. And I guess, oh, Mario, over there. Let's see here. Nope. Yeah, okay, so because you let go the shield button, it, that's interesting. So that, I guess if you just want to grab, you would have to keep holding the shield button and just hit A the moment you're able to. So I mean, and you could do it while holding the shield button down instead of letting go. Played someone, they did a roll option to get onto the edge, and it was perfect. I was trying to take the stock and so satisfying. Yeah, perfect viewing is awesome. Well, that's just because I discovered it way back. So, yeah, because whenever, as you saw right there, whenever I tried to perfect shield his fireballs and then buffer a grab, the game still like registered the button being held down, because I did shield into a grab with the Z button, which is made of R and A, as you guys know. Another interesting fact, just to show it's made of R and A. Let's say I'm holding the shield, you could actually use your Z button to attack, as you can see right there, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, because the game still registers that you're somehow like let go of the shield button. I don't know why it does that, even if you buffer it that way. Let's try it again. Oops. See? Of course, if you want to use it to attack, you have to be holding down the shield button before you jump up. Yeah, I miss using the Z button for attacking too. It was one of my like more favorite things. So that's something new. I never knew about that when it came to buffering. At least like trying to buffer a grab out of it. Oh. Yeah, it registers as an attack. Huh. Learned something new. So yeah, I guess in that situation, just keep holding your shield button and just press the A. The moment that you're able to, you might. Let's try it. Let's see. You might be able to do shield and then hit the A button, and then let them both go at the same time. Yeah. I'm gonna go over there. Nope. Okay. So you just try to hit the A button when you can, because I'm personally having a hard time buffering it. Oh, there we go. So yeah, oops. So the moment you let's pause it. So the moment that you shield, pretty much you want to be hitting the shield and the A button, then the A button, then release them both at the same time, and then you would end up getting the grab. It's kind of weird, but that's what you have to do. Like for example, like I guess another good bit of information is learning how to, of course, to buffer like tilts, for example. You can't just press both the direction buttons like that. So I was asking you to repeat something. Inputs prepared for buffering. You pretty much in stack time. So pretty much you just have to do one input after the other. So I'll do it here. So pretty much the example that I used earlier, it's like one of the easiest ones. Let's say you want to do a spot dodge and then you buffer another spot dodge afterwards. During the last 8 frames of a move, like during the recovery, like during that part, you can input another move. Pretty much like when your character is not able to do anything, you input that action 8 frames before you're able to act. And a good way to test when you're able to act, of course, is just to hold the shield button. Shield button's 1 frame. So if I were to press both buttons down, the shield would pop up. So during that time when the shield pops up, that's pretty much when you're good to go. You're good to go. You're pretty much able to put anything you want during that time when he's able to act with your shield up. You can put an action right then, which means then you just have perfect godlike timing. Well, that's not buffering. You want to do it 8 frames before the shield pops up. If you do it 8 frames before the shield pops up, the game will register you being able to do it on that very first frame, the moment it happens. So let's put it back to regular speed. Also, a good thing to note is, of course, if the game is slowed down, the characters actually have way more frames than they're supposed to. So your timing will be completely off if you try to do it. At least that's how it was in Brawl. So, good example here is, of course, a shield double spot dodge. So as you can see right there, this is normal spot dodging speed. So about that speed. But as you could hear there, I inputted it really quickly. Another one like pretty much right before it ended. And I wasn't even touching the controller and he did another spot dodge. If you're not touching controller and they do the other action immediately, that means you buffered it correctly. And you could pretty much buffer from everything. Back in Brawl, you used to even be able to, when the screen popped up, you used to be able to buffer the, because it was a limited number of actions, which is silly, but you could go immediately from the start all the way and just go all the way to training mode or wherever you want if you input all the buttons correctly, which is pretty awesome. So, but yeah, this right there is buffering in a nutshell. See, you could input a dash, jab, oops, it's pretty much anything that you want from it. It's crazy, and if someone is able to master this, they would be easily one of the not top players in the game, but like one of the best. This is one of the things you want to have down technically if you could choose to practice like anything besides godlike DI. If you're able to buffer everything, and if you're able, because if you can buffer everything, that means you're frame perfect, and if, of course, if you DI everything, that means you're able to you know, survive anything. But just learning how to buffer everything that your character can do, like learning when they're able to act, will make you literally frame perfect. Like you know, like in those melee. Oh, what was it? Oh, I feel really bad for forgetting that melee video. But yeah, you could pretty much just buffer everything, and you could be literally frame perfect. It's crazy. Nope. But of course, buffering in this game is way nerfed. A good thing to, not a really good thing to know, it's probably the best thing to know about buffering is that you could only input one action. You can't input two, like in Brawl. They nerfed that completely. It's gone. You could only do one singular action, and then once that, so let's say you spot dodge, then you buffer a dash. Once that dash starts, during the like cooldown frames of it, you're able to input another action, or of course immediately do another one out of it. And you just have to repeat that process over and over. You have to think like literally a few steps ahead of what you're doing. But if you're able to predict a few steps ahead and just input all of your actions back to back, you will, like I said before, it will literally be frame perfect. Every single action that you do, if you think ahead just by a few moves. So like, for example, like let's say I back air. Let's see here, I might as well slow it down. So I back air, and during that time, let's say Mario rolls, you can input a, nope, ugh, I hate the slowdown. Slowdown makes it so you're unable to even use the C-stick. Oh, another good thing about buffering, turnaround is also an action. So that means the moment the turnaround happens, then you have to input a dash attack. Like you have to kind of dissect your character, but like learning this trick not only will help you dissect your character, it'll just make you a better player in general. Because then, like I said before, being able to buffer will make you literally frame perfect. Every single combo that you have in mind, if it's done perfectly, then, you know, I mean, hey, you're just look at like a combo, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, and then you just do it frame perfect. And if it doesn't work, then, you know, you're frame perfect, it doesn't work. That means a move doesn't, that means a combo is like, you know, it's not legit. Of course, you know, then it goes into a topic of reading, but then that's just gets a pure reaction. That's not it's not making yourself frame perfect. That's just having literally godlike reactions, which it's hard. Like even all of this, it's frame. It's all frame perfect. Well, you know. Yeah, it's hard to do that one. Yeah, pretty much. Well, I wouldn't say you're not good enough, which is definitely not true. There's players that could just outthink you. Ito's an amazing example of that, because Manega will just think like 5 steps ahead of you. He's like, oh, if I dash attack you here, you're gonna be in this position up here, and then when you're falling, you only have these options, blah 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 blah. But you know, and of course, I'm not sure if he can, but I mean, like I said before, if you could just input all of the, like, think ahead, just buffer all of his stuff, yeah, he would be literally frame perfect. But I haven't talked to Ito about that. I don't even know if he does buffering. I mean, all the top players don't know about it. Like, that's an essential skill that you need to know about if you want to be frame perfect. Or, you know, you just have the timing down, which, if you think about it, combos is just pure timing. Especially if you know, you have it, if you have it down, that means if you have the timing down for it, then you could buffer it, and just, that's all strict timing. Nope. He does at the first fighter's somewhat level thing. Yeah. So, yeah, like I said before, buffering is an essential skill if you want to be a top player. Like, which, it's something that you need to learn in time. Explore your character. Like, I don't even have it down for Fox, and that's one of the essential things, like I said before. So, right here. Oops. Also be aware that when you hit someone, there is hit stop, and that will add additional frames, so it will change the timing slightly, as opposed to if you were with a move. Best example of that is if Falcon needs somebody in the face, the hit stop, or if Marth gets a tipper on somebody, more hit stop, so then you have to change your, but yeah, but then you just have to change your timing on everything. But yeah, like I said before, you could buffer everything in this game. You could buffer dashes, you could buffer spot dodges, you could buffer attacks, like every single attack. Like I said before, you used to even be able to buffer the very start of the game, and then go into like just training mode. If you're able to input all the commands, the game will take you directly there. It's really cool. But again, in Smash 4, another thing to keep in mind, like I said, it is you can only do one action at a time. Only one action at a time, which is shitty. If you're able to do everything like all at once, you could probably just input a whole bunch of actions and just let your character go. And the explanation for it, like I said before, it's not extremely complicated, but I mean, then it just comes down to learning your character, which is why I say that frame data is very important. Not just because of the startup, but the ending lag that you have on like all the moves. It'll show you how big of a window you have to actually input your next attack, just your next anything. So, let's see here. is so small? Oh my gosh. So I mean, yeah, like I said, and then from there it just becomes pure creativity. You could just think of whatever you want, like roll, nope, roll. Like, see, like those two rolls are all buffered, like back to back. And if you could just continue that chain, like over and over again, like I said before, you could literally become a frame perfect player. But again, that's just half the battle. But I mean, having your tech skill down, then you can just start thinking more about the mental game. Like, let's say I roll, oh no, he's gonna attack me, and he followed my roll, and you see that. And then you could buffer, like, an attack, or he's gonna go for something big. You could roll back, roll behind him again. And that's why, like, I love this game. You have to think, it's a game of chess. If you think a certain amount of moves ahead, you will beat the other player. Like, and that's something I'm still learning. You can play off of pure reaction, yes, but you want to be able to think ahead. So, and if you think ahead, you will then literally become frame perfect on everything that you do, like every single little thing that you do. That's why, and on top of that, it prevents button mashing. Button mashing kind of sucks. Not only does it ruin your controller faster, it just ruins your controller faster. And if you're able to buffer and just do everything back to back, your controller will have an infinitely longer lifespan. Like when I was playing, like I said, back to Brawl, but when I was playing that, I've never actually broken a controller. I've given my controller to many players, and they all said that my controller feels great. Everything still feels in shape like it just came off of the shelf, and that's how I love the feel of all my controllers. It makes me really sad when like I have an inverted one of this where it's white on the top and black on the bottom. The A button's like super mushed in, and it just doesn't feel the same anymore. It just doesn't have that click or that crisp. So not only, again, like I said before, will this make you frame perfect, it makes you a better player. Makes you a better player because you're frame perfect. And on top of that, like, the combos look smooth as shit. Everything you do should be like a true combo if it's an actual combo. And yeah, it's just so good. And like I said before, it promotes the longevity of your controllers. I have never ever broken a controller. I have had to get a new one because I usually just end up losing them, which sucks. Or I just end up yeah, I just end up losing them, which sucks. Or I let someone else borrow it, and the quality of my controller over the course of, like, sometimes it could be a day or like even a single sitting, and my controller will come back like destroyed. Like I have one that has like the pad on it peeled off. Like this part was all super worn out, so you can't even see the letters anymore. I mean, yeah, this one does get grimy from overuse, but that just means it's gotta open it up, clean it up. Ooh, and everything you do, and again, this is not just on the GameCube controller. This is just the mechanics in the game. Everything you do, everything that I could do on the GameCube controller, you could actually do on like a nunchuck. It doesn't matter what control scheme you're using or controller you're using. This is still a useful skill to have. So like there, I could buffer a dash at that moment. So during that moment that the dash comes out, then I would buffer like dash stack, etc. Yeah, this is definitely a technique that you have to sit in the lab for. You have to sit down and just practice with your controller, and eventually get the timing. Like I said before, the best way to get the timing is to press the shield button. When you see the shield pop up, because the shield is the fastest thing in this game, it's one of them. It's one of the fastest options in this game. It's a single frame to put your shield up. No, every control. This is all system. This is all in the system. Like no matter what controller you're using, you could be using a 3DS. You could be using like a GameCube controller, Pro controller, the Wavebird, Wii U like nunchuck. You could even just use like the Wii. Even if you're just using a Wiimote, everything. You could do every single thing that I teach. Everything that I teach here, it's all in the system. It's all in the game. So anything that I'm showing you guys in game, you guys can do. 3DS, Wii U, doesn't matter. So yeah, like I said before, putting your shield up is a 1-frame action, and just use that to check the moves. Like my backer's lagless. How do I know? It comes up immediately in 1 frame. You can usually tell when you're lagging when your character has like a reeling animation. Some characters like this one, see, takes that long for Fox to recover. Yeah, doing something on the 3DS, like I can't go back to it. I need my C stick. With my C stick, I can just do so many shenanigans like this. Back air, perfect pivot up tilt. See that true combo? Ooh, love getting that. Need to learn how to do it from a full jump still, but yeah, right. Nope. But yeah, and because I know it's lagless, then I could buffer a dash, and then I know when the dash comes out, which is like, oh, startups of dashes. Is it 1 frame? Yeah, it's 1 frame. Then of course, because it's 1 frame, I know I just have to hit the turnaround button, or not the button, just flick the C stick the other way, which then I'll buffer the turnaround and then get perfect pivots out of my back airs. Just lagless again. But let's see here. See, and if I do it wrong, I dash forward because I'm doing this input too early, and then the game will instead just register this one, and that shows that you can only do like 1 input at a time. So it's speedy. Like whenever I do my perfect pivots, I have to do that on reaction, or the moment that I know shield pops up. So usually things that require like two different actions to do. Like let's say, I don't know, with Sheik you want to buffer your needles into a shield. That's 2 different actions. Even if the action that you do there is like 1 singular frame, you still have to learn the timing for it. Or you just have to do the timing for it manually. Let's see here, so have Fox's Nair, buffer into shield, and improve it working as shield. Yeah, pretty much. So the moment that well, and there's different ways to buffer too. It's actually, nope. Nice. Oh, you can hold it now. That's cool. Yeah, because some moves you will just automatically come out if you hold it. Shield being one of them. And because I'm holding it the entire time, the game will be like, oh, he's holding down shield. That means I gotta put it out immediately. And yeah, I like using Fox as an example, just because like most of his stuff is lagless, and during the time when I fall, that's when I want to input all the stuff. It's crazy. Like, yeah, and like I said before, let's do it for that. Buffered into shield. Yeah, I technically did buffer his Nair into shield because I'm holding down the shield button. Like I said before, holding it down, the move will instantly come out the moment that it's able to, because it's being held down, which is pretty cool. That only happens for shield. Oh, jabs too. But let's see here. No, it doesn't happen for jabs. I mainly use shield just to see when the move ends. Because the moment that I'm able to put my shield up, that's pretty much the time when it's ended. Like there, those rolls are actually buffered. Another stream. Perfect picking the jab lock. We're testing this, seems like. Let's see here. Well, I've been playing with some really good characters, but I haven't had too much time to sit in the lab recently. Been doing other stuff. I have work, so work takes up a good chunk of my time. I come home super tired. And came back from LA like about a week ago, and I just wanted to take a longer break because other stuff. It's hard to like I said before, it's hard to buffer a perfect pivot because, like I said before, it's 2 actions, and you could only buffer 1 action at a time now. It sucks. So this is all it's all pure reaction. Yeah, no, I'm super sad about that too. I mean, I had AX off from work, so, and my bosses would not be happy with me if I took like an entire month off. Oh, damn, I still need to get really sloppy. Like right there, I'm buffering, but I've been doing it a little too early. I need to wait longer. Like this is buffered. Whoops. Can't press it at the same time, but if you delay it, it's like that. 1, 2, 1, 2. But of course, see right there, it's all buffered. Ooh. I do it weird though. I do AZ because, like I said before, Z counts as attack, and if you input the attack action during some moves, like for example jab. Oops. Oh, huh. It's not going. There it is. You know, that happens. Yeah, I'm super, like I said before, I'm super sad I'm not gonna be able to go to Evo. This Perfect Pivot double jab is more of a cross-up. Because they're, I let them go for too long. And if I were to do it perfectly, my back would end up being to them, which is not how I want to do it. Like, I have to be super deep inside of them, too. Oh, that is so hard. Oh, shit. So yeah, it's too slow. Like it's cute. You could always just do one jab too. Oops. And also, of course, with perfect pivoting, some moves will stop it. Will stop the momentum, and jab is one of the moves. Actually, I think, yeah, all of his moves pretty much stop momentum. All the noteworthy ones, of course, besides down smash. But I have my C6 to attack, so I don't get that nice perk. I chose to sacrifice that for up tilt, which is way better. It's way better of an option. Well, I mean, of course I could just input it manually. It's hard to buffer stuff out of the perfect pivot, though. So, okay. Another thing will mostly be buffering movements. So great for things like jab combos. Yeah, this is what I was getting to in there was like more character specific stuff. Actually, no. If you guys want me to check stuff on characters, I'm more than willing to ask. Just feel free to ask. And of course, shoot me that follow. Like I personally want to get a sponsorship from Twitch. Like if I could just do this for like on the side, that would be more than godlike. Like, oh my goodness. I love you guys forever. Okay, so